Hey everybody, welcome to this yoga flow class with the weighted vest. We're going to find ourselves in a standing position. You're going to take a breath in and bring your hands overhead and then breathe out and come into a forward fold. It's really lovely here if you can just let the vest take you. You can find a slight bend in your knees and you can begin to sway back and forth. Just being aware of that vest on your upper back slightly pushing you as if a hand was assisting you into the stretch. Gently bring your hands to the floor. If you have to bend your knees, that's okay. If you can keep them straight, that's wonderful as well. And you're just going to alternate, bending and straightening each leg. Noticing which side might be tighter than the other. I'm going to do this for 2 more breaths. Keeping your hands on the ground, you're going to heel toe your way out into a split stance. If you need yourself a block, this is a good time to grab a block if you need. Otherwise, you can just keep your hands and mat together. Noticing now where you feel that tightness, you're going to begin to forget that you even have the weight on your back. But while I've reminded you, I just want you to bring your head gently towards the floor. Just feeling that vest separating your lower vertebrae from your pelvis and bringing space in between. I'm going to take a breath in and we're going to go to our right side. Lovely. Grabbing that outside of the ankle if you can. If you're as deep as I am, you can make sure to put some force into that planted arm. Otherwise, you can just relax however far down you're going, noticing that stretch in that right leg to begin with. Take a breath in, exhale, and come to the other side. Find your way back to center. I'd like you to put both hands onto the ground with your feet as wide as you are comfortable. I'd like you to spin your femurs, your hips inward. So it's going to look like this, spinning those thighs inward and then outward. Inward again, outward. Inward, outward. It's a very subtle movement, but we're opening up that hip mobility rotation. Lovely. Heel toe your way back in to our forward fold. Letting that vest take you a little bit farther into the stretch that you might have otherwise been able to do. As we roll our way up, before we go, I just want you to be very mindful that you go vertebrae by vertebrae, bending those knees, because with the weighted vest, this particular way to come up, it's very important to do it slowly. Find your way up vertebrae by vertebrae. Take another deep breath in. Hands will come overhead. Exhale. Take your feet out, maybe 2 steps. We're going to find our way into a squatted position, Malasana. And we're just going to sit here. The weighted vest is pulling you slightly deeper into the position. If you need, you can put a block to sit on and you'll be able to relax a little bit more. If you're not quite in a sitting position, you can stay upright and just push your forearms against your knees. And I just want you to sway back and forth. We're going to work on that dorsiflexion in the ankles, leaning back and forth. Lovely. Find your hands to the ground and you're going to come to your knees to the ground, chest up into a seated frog squat position, and you're just going to gently lean back into the stretch. I'm encouraging you to do the same concept. I want you to take those femurs and try and spin them outward and then inward again. So outward and inward. You won't quite be able to tell on the camera, but you're going to feel it in those hips. Spinning those femurs in, spinning those femurs out. Just 2 more. Lovely. Forearms come to the ground. You're welcome to put them on a block. Really sitting in to that stretch on your groins. Hands are going to come to the center. You're going to activate your core by taking a breath in and breathing everything out. Breath in, breathe everything out. Push yourself into a plank position. And we're going to do 1 chaturanga. Take a breath in, take a breath out. Into cobra. This is one of my favorites with the weighted vest because it's able to sink my hip bones a little bit deeper. Lovely, looking straight up. Take another breath in. We're going to find our way to downward dog. Touch those toes. Take a breath in. Exhale. Find your way to downward dog. Lovely. I'm going to come to this shape for you just so you can see it a little bit better. In that downward dog, I really want you to think your heels are going to the wall away from you. Your neck is going the opposite direction, and that weighted vest is almost pulling you away from the bottom half of your body, creating that space again in that lower sacrum. You're going to walk your feet up to your hands, finding yourself back in that forward fold position. One last time, hands come to the floor. We're going to alternate. Right straightens, left straightens. Right straightens, left straightens. 2 more. Right straightens, left straightens. Lovely. Back into your forward fold. Place your hands in front of you. Walk your feet back out. Find yourself into another chaturanga. Push up, low push up. Good. Find yourself into a cobra. Keep your toes on tuck. Let those hips sink into the floor. Tuck your toes under. Take a breath in. On that exhale, find your way to downward dog. Lovely. We're going to swing that right leg up first, and then we're going to tuck it through to pigeon. Right leg comes up, point it nice and high, finding an opposing line, your neck going one direction, your toes going the other. Breathe in, exhale, and bring that leg in between your 2 hands. You can stay upright in this position. If you need a block, this is a good time to use one. Otherwise, you can find your way to the floor. This is another great one with the weighted vest just because it allows you to go a little bit deeper than you might have otherwise. Lovely. Really sit into that right butt cheek. And I want you to imagine the weighted vest helping you as if a hand is gently pushing against you so you can find your way to the floor. Just sit here for 3 more breaths. Good. Take your arms, place them into a plank-like position. Take a breath in, tuck your toes on the back end, breathe everything out so you activate your core, breathe everything out, ribs drop. Lovely. Find your way into downward dog. Very good. I'm going to go to the other side now. Take a breath in. Exhale everything out. Lift that leg. Tuck it through the 2 arms. This side might be tighter, it might be looser. We're not born symmetrical, we're born asymmetrical. Your heart is already on your left side, so it's okay if you're not even. Take another breath in. On that exhale, really breathe everything out. Good, and find your way a little bit lower. Forearms come to the ground. And that weighted vest, an assisted hand on your back, just pushing you into the ground. Sit here for 3 more breaths. Lovely. Take those hands into that plank position again. Tuck those back toes. Take a breath in. Breathe everything out. Good. Ribs drop, core activated. Using those back toes tucked, push your way up into a downward dog. Lovely. Finding that what we call an opposing line, heels going the opposite direction of our neck. Weighted vest helping us find space in that lower sacrum. Very, very good. 1 more breath here. Bring your knees down into tabletop. We're going to do some scapular push-ups. So with the weighted vest, this is something you really can't do as well without the weighted vest. What you're going to do is you're going to let your shoulder blades go towards the sky, and then you're going to force your shoulders pushing into the ground on your way out. So again, shoulder blades coming high, letting your shoulders drop into their socket, and then push into the floor, pushing away from the floor beneath you, finding that back to be nice and straight, nice and flat. And again, breath in, shoulders drop into their sockets, push away into the ground. 2 more. 1, 2. Lovely. Now we're going to go into cat-cow, which I'm sure you're familiar with. With the weighted vest, we're going to do it slightly differently. I want you to take a breath in and breathe everything out. Good. You've breathed everything out. Now we've gotten our spine into neutral. When we go into our cow, I really want you to be thinking that your lower tailbone is reaching away from you and your head and neck are reaching the opposite direction, creating space in that vertebrae. The weighted vest is going to help you with that opposing line, pulling you in the opposite direction. And let's find our way to cat. Take 1 more inhale in, exhale everything out, neutral spine. Now you're going to feel you're not maybe going to go as high up with your head, but you're going to get a greater stretch out of that stuff. Lovely. 3 more. Take a breath in, exhale, find your way into a curl. And again, head goes up, take an exhale, everything out. Find your way up, looking at the sky. Lovely. Back into child's pose. One of the best exercises with the weighted vest. The one that we all think of. Just letting the vest take you. 2 breaths here. 1, 2. Once you find your way back to tabletop, this time you're going to tuck your toes and you're going to do another child's pose, stretching those arches. This is really great for any heel pain, toe pain, plantar fasciitis. Take a breath in, breathe everything out. Lovely. Finding your way back to tabletop, you're going to find your way back to downward dog. Take a breath in. Exhale. Lovely. I want you to pedal your feet, bend and straighten. We're going to do 5 breaths here. Lovely. Find your way to a seated position. We're going to find our way into a forward fold sitting down, but we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to have you actually take the vest off. I'm going to have you wrap it around your lower back. It doesn't have to be perfect, but do make sure it's tight and snug. The vest is designed to actually wrap around your lower sacrum, your lower, almost around your butt. Once you've found it into a comfortable position, we're just going to go into a forward fold. But now the vest is pushing from our lower back. Imagine somebody is pushing you from that lower back position. I'm gonna encourage you to be curious and find where the vest feels best for you. If you prefer it back up top, feel free to unclip it and put it back on. This is just one variation. Taking that breath in, breathe everything out, and find your way into that forward fold. In this seated position, if you can grab your ankles, fantastic. If you can grab your feet, that's also fantastic. Let's do 5 breaths here. Lovely. I'm gonna have you take the vest off one more time. This time we're gonna use it like a strap. Now for this particular exercise, what makes it so special is when you put on the vest on your foot and use it as a strap, it's gonna drive that hip bone into the ground. So you're gonna strap it in just like you would a regular strap, and now there's 6 pounds here pulling you into the ground. I want you to really take a breath in and drive this hip. I'm gonna do it with this leg first so you can see. Drive this hip into the ground, and the weighted vest is gonna help you. Take a breath in, which should feel good. You should feel that weighted vest on the floor beneath you. Lovely. I'm gonna hold here for 3 more breaths. Now you're gonna take it out away from you, continuing to hold the vest, and that vest is going to help you go a little bit deeper into that stretch. Take a breath in. You can put your other hand on the floor on the other side. Take a breath in. For extra credit, if you face your cheek away from your foot, finding another opposing line. Activate your core. Breathe in, breathe everything out, and gently using your arms, bring your leg back to center. And we're going to bring it to the opposite side. Keep, for now, your foot in the air. Don't have it fall over quite yet. We're going to get there in a moment. Have your face facing the opposite way, palms and face the sky, taking in the information. Drive that hip bone into the ground. Breathe in and breathe everything out. Keeping that leg nice and straight and elongated. Just try and think the hip bone is going into the floor and the toe is reaching up to the sky, finding another opposing line, creating space in that knee joint. Lovely. With the same leg now, you're going to bring your chest towards you. You're going to take the vest off of your toe, and you're just going to bring the vest on top of your knee here. And it's just going to help us get a little bit deeper into the stretch. Just like as I said before, as if somebody else was gently giving you an assistance to stretch. Take a breath in, breathe everything out. It should feel delicious. You're going to take this same knee and you're going to take it across your body with the vest. The vest will help you go into this position. Keep your arm on the opposite side and you're just going to let your side body go over, and the vest should feel so good for that tight buttocks that you might have. It's just going to let you sink into it a little bit better. You can bring those toes towards your knees to protect your knee and just sit here for 5 breaths. If it ends up going to the floor, that's fantastic. If not, just be aware of it. Take a breath in, breathe everything out, and bring yourself back to center. Lovely. Bring your left leg in. You're going to put that left leg now into the strap. Fantastic. Leg straight up in the air, driving that pelvis into the floor. Very good. Exhale. That pelvis, remember, is driving into the ground, using the weight to help us. We're going to take it away from us. Cheeks face the opposite direction, palm faces the sky. Just letting the vest take us to the floor. Take a breath in. Exhale everything, activating the core. Good. And now bring it way back to center using your arm Lovely. And we're gonna have it go the opposite way now. Bringing that foot to the sky. Should feel this in your outside hamstring. I can hear you from here going, oh, it's so tight. Drive that hip bone into the floor still and reach that toes away from you, finding that opposing line. I know, I feel it, it's tight too, especially my left one. Take an breathe in, exhale everything, last little time. Oh, very good. Find your way to center, bend that knee. The vest should slide relatively easily off of that foot and onto that knee. And just pull your knee into your chest. Everything in and exhale. Extra points if you take that foot on the ground that's pointed on the floor and you point those toes away from you and you reach your neck in the opposite direction of your toe, and you're going to get a stretch in that hip flexor right there. And you're going to get a nice stretch in the leg you're pulling in. Lovely. Now we're going to take it across our body, remember? And you're going to feel that amazing stretch thanks to the weight in that left butt cheek. Take that opposite palm and cheek and face it away from you. Nice twist in your back. You're going to feel that nice stretch. The higher up the vest is on your knee, the more stretch you're going to feel. Breath in, everything exhale. Let that knee fall. Good job. Lovely. Take a breath in. Breathe everything out. Good. Find your way back to center using that core and your hands if you need. I want you now to bring both knees into your chest. Put your weight on top of both knees. It wraps around perfectly. You're just going to bring both knees to your chest, and then you're going to do some circles with the vest. Should feel really good. Those hip bones are going to drive into the ground thanks to the extra weight, and it's almost going to feel like your bones are kind of floating. And let's go the other way. Lovely. I'm going to have you roll up for just a second. I want you to go to the bottom of your mat. Now for this stretch, if you have any neck issues, please be hesitant and just watch before you do it. If you have no neck issues and you have no back issues, this one should feel delicious. You're going to put the strap on both feet. For now, you're going to put them on the soles of your feet. You're going to bend your knees into your chest. Feet are going to go straight up in the air. Hands come to the floor. You're going to take a breath in. And on your exhale, you're going to lift your feet up to the sky. Good. You're just going to sit here for a second, feeling the weight push your pelvis into your hip bones. Then you're gently going to point your toes so the vest doesn't fall, and you're going to come into a back forward fold. This should feel really good. The weight's going to help you go a little bit farther than you ever could otherwise. Now, if you're an expert, if you're a beginner, I should say, stay right here. This is a lovely position. If you'd like to go a little bit farther, I'm going to have you take the vest and just slide it off the soles of your feet and put it behind your heels onto your Achilles. And then you'll be able to go a little bit farther and a little bit deeper. You can take a breath in, separate your breath. Take an exhale. Lovely. And you can just put your hand through the vest and you can find your way into this stretch position. Even if you can go to the floor, just hover above the ground. That will allow you to get a nice stretch in this spine area. For those of us sitting all day, this could be a money stretch. Breathe everything in, breathe everything out. Creating space in that belly for a little bit further stretch. Extra points if you take those femurs that you might notice your toes are spinning outward. If you can spin them inward, creating your feet to be parallel, that would be extra bonus points, and you'll get a nice stretch in your outer hamstring. Lovely. Now to come out of this position, you have to put the vest back onto the soles of your feet. Good. You're going to bend your knees into your chest. As we started, hands go on your back and push straight up to the sky. Good. Sit there just for a second. It's gonna allow the spine to adjust. Bring your knees back into your chest and gently roll back. You can put your hands down to help you into a seated position. Lovely work. Fantastic. That should feel really good. I'm gonna have you now put the vest to the side just so you can see the difference that the vest makes and how you go into each position. We're gonna find our way into downward dog. Take a breath in. Exhale. Lovely. Wow, without the vest, you feel almost like light as a feather, and you can go like even farther. When you're wearing the vest, your nervous system is a little scared. It's a little hesitant to go into certain positions, but it's forcing you into more flexible positions. So when you take it off, your body's okay now. Your nervous system, it goes, oh, it's okay for me to sit in that position. You go a little bit farther. Now, lovely. Walk your feet into your hands. Find your way into a forward fold. Wow, now I can get my palms to the floor. You might notice that you're just like better at hanging because you were hanging with that vest for a while. Very good. Let's alternate. Right foot straightens, then left foot straightens. Right leg straightens, then left leg straightens. 3 more. 1, 2, I lied. 4 more. 3 and 4. Roll your way up. Be very careful, vertebrae by vertebrae. Very good. I'm gonna face you. We're gonna heel toe our way out or walk our way out into our split. You're gonna forward fold. Now remember, we have no vest. And just see if you feel a little bit more flexible, almost a little bit lighter without the vest. Go as far as you feel comfortable. You can be on your forearms or your hands, or you can take blocks. I'm gonna have you go to your right leg now. Take a breath in, take a breath out. Switch to the other side. Take a breath in, take a breath out. Lovely work. Fantastic. Heel toe your way back in. We're gonna find our way to our squatted position without the vest now. Just see how it feels. I know for me, I'm able to go a little bit deeper every time I take the vest off. Take your hands in front of you if you want. Spin each direction like you're driving a big pickup truck. Lovely. Put your hands on your knees. Push your hands into your knees as you stand up. Take a breath in. Exhale. Push your hands into your knees to stand up. Very good job. Find your way to the floor for our last posture. You're going to take the weighted vest. You're going to put it on top of your chest, and you're just going to lay down into Tadasana. And you're going to notice, as it is with weighted blankets, that there's some sense of calmness by just having a weight on you, like somebody's giving you a hug. If you'd like, you could put the vest and unfold it so it's as if it's hugging you, or you could put the entirety of the weight on your chest. And we're just going to breathe here for 10 breaths. Noticing the weight rising and relaxing. Thank you for joining us for that 30-minute yoga flow. Visit our website, theyogavest.com, and follow us on Instagram @YogaVest.